In the distant future, the galaxy bustled with vibrant civilizations, each vying for power and influence. Humanity, having established itself among the stars, was a beacon of resilience and innovation. However, peace remained fragile, especially with the looming threat of the Zereth Empire, a militaristic civilization led by the ruthless Empress Leora, known for her temper and her unyielding quest for domination. On a diplomatic mission, an Earth envoy, Captain Maria Chen, found herself in the grand halls of the Zereth capital, a planet enveloped in swirling red clouds. The opulence of the Zereth court was both awe-inspiring and intimidating, with massive statues depicting the Empress's glory towering over the assembly. As she stood before the Empress, the tension in the room was palpable. Earth had sent its brightest and best, hoping to forge a treaty, but a slip of the tongue by one of her aides changed everything. "Your Majesty," the aide had said, "the Earth has made great strides in technology, surpassing even your own advancements. We bring you gifts that may aid your empire." The Empress's eyes narrowed, a smoldering fury igniting within them. "You presume to lecture me on advancements. Your gifts are but mere trinkets compared to the might of the Zereth." Her voice echoed through the hall, chilling the air. A hush fell over the crowd as the Empress rose from her throne, her ornate robes trailing behind her like shadows of vengeance. Maria stepped forward, trying to salvage the situation. "Your Majesty, we seek only to share knowledge and foster a mutual understanding." But before she could finish, the Empress's hand shot up, silencing her. "Your arrogance is insufferable, Earthling. You dare presume equality with the Zereth." Lyora's fury erupted like a supernova, and the assembly quickly turned chaotic. She declared, "Let it be known that from this day forth, the Zereth Empire is at war with humanity. We shall show you the true meaning of power." The throne room quaked with her words, and the Earthlings could only watch in stunned silence as the Empress summoned her generals, barking orders for the immediate mobilization of her fleet. As news of the declaration spread, chaos ensued back on Earth. Emergency meetings were convened in the United Earth Federation's command center, where military leaders and scientists gathered to discuss their response. Among them was Admiral James Carter, a seasoned strategist known for his calm demeanor in the face of adversity. "We have no time to waste," Admiral Carter stated, his voice steady yet urgent. "We need to deploy the Vanguard Armada immediately. They are our most advanced supercarrier fleet, equipped with technology the Zereth have never encountered." "We can't underestimate the Empress," countered Commander Ilara Torres, a brilliant tactician. "She will not take this lightly, and her fleets are vast. We must prepare for the worst." "Indeed," Carter agreed, "but we cannot show fear. If we do, we'll lose the support of our colonies. We have to demonstrate strength and resolve." With a plan taking shape, the leaders began coordinating the deployment of the Vanguard Armada. Each supercarrier was a marvel of engineering, equipped with cutting-edge weapons and defense systems. As the fleet powered up, anticipation mixed with anxiety filled the air. Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, Empress Leora raged in her war room, pacing like a caged beast. She glared at the holographic map of her empire, veins pulsating with fury. The humans had dared to insult her, and she would make them pay dearly for their transgression. "Send the fleet to annihilate their colonies," she ordered. "I want every last one of them brought to their knees." As both sides prepared for impending conflict, the galaxy held its breath, caught in the crossfire of pride and ambition. Humanity was on the brink of war, facing a foe that was as cunning as she was cruel. But in the hearts of the commanders and the pilots of the Vanguard Armada burned an unyielding spirit, a fierce determination to protect their home and stand against tyranny. The stage was set for an epic confrontation that would define the fate of civilizations, as both the Empress and humanity braced for the clash that would echo through the stars. As the Vanguard Armada surged forward, humanity's pride and hope ignited like a comet blazing through the dark expanse of space. The 200 supercarriers, sleek and formidable, formed a colossal formation that spanned miles, each ship a fortress bristling with weaponry and technology. The sleek hulls gleamed in the dim light of the stars, and inside, thousands of crew members prepared for battle, their hearts racing with a mix of fear and determination. In the command center of the flagship, U.S. Horizon ***, Admiral James Carter stood at the helm, his eyes fixed on the tactical hologram displaying the vast stretch of Zereth territory. The glow illuminated the deep lines of concern on his face. He knew the stakes were higher than ever. "Admiral, we've received intelligence from our scouts," a young ensign reported, breaking the tense silence. "The Zereth fleet is mobilizing in the Yadra system likely preparing to strike our outer colonies." "Can we confirm their fleet size?" Carter inquired, his tone firm. "Preliminary scans show a massive deployment, far larger than our own," the ensign replied, anxiety creeping into his voice. "They could overwhelm us if we engage head-on." "Then we won't engage head-on," Carter decided. "We'll use their arrogance against them. Let's send a team to gather more intelligence. We need to know their plans before we make our move." Meanwhile, far from the commanding presence of the U.S. Horizon, a different kind of battle was unfolding. In the shadows of the Zereth Empire, a small team of human operatives, led by the daring rogue Elias Voss embarked on a mission to gather critical intelligence. Voss, known for his quick wit and resourcefulness, had assembled a diverse team of specialists, each with unique skills that would prove invaluable. As they approached the Zereth homeworld under the cover of stealth technology, the atmosphere was charged with tension. Voss's team consisted of Mira, a brilliant hacker with a penchant for breaking into highly secure systems, Samir, an ex-military operative skilled in close-quarters combat, and Tessa, a medic with a fierce loyalty to her team. They landed on the dark side of the planet, cloaked from the watchful eyes of Zereth patrols. "Remember, our goal is to extract information, not to engage in combat," Voss reminded his team as they disembarked. "Stay sharp and stick to the plan. If things go south, we retreat." As they infiltrated the outskirts of a Zereth military complex, they relied on Mira's expertise to navigate through security systems. The facility was a hive of activity, bustling with Zereth soldiers and advanced machinery. The team split up, each member knowing their roles. Mira would access the mainframe, while Samir and Tessa provided cover. In the heart of the complex, Mira's fingers danced over the controls of a terminal, bypassing layers of security. "I'm in," she whispered, her voice barely audible, "downloading intel on their fleet movements and—" Suddenly, an alarm blared through the facility, the red lights flashing ominously. "We've been detected," Samir shouted, pulling out his sidearm. "We need to move now." As chaos erupted around them, Voss grabbed Mira's arm, pulling her away from the terminal. "Get what you can. We're not leaving empty-handed." Mira's eyes widened with determination. "I'm almost through. Just a few more seconds." The sound of Zereth soldiers shouting orders echoed in the corridor. Samir and Tessa took up defensive positions, exchanging fire with the advancing troops. The team fought valiantly, but the odds were against them. Finally, Mira shouted, "Got it. I have the data." She quickly transferred the information to a secure device just as a group of Zereth soldiers stormed into the room. "Fall back," Voss commanded. They retreated, using their training to navigate the chaotic halls. Samir held the line, covering their escape as they sprinted towards the extraction point, heart pounding with adrenaline. As they reached their getaway vehicle, a sleek craft hidden beneath foliage, they piled inside, breathless and battered. Just as they launched into the sky, Voss caught a glimpse of Zereth troops pursuing them, their war cries echoing behind. "Hold on," he shouted as he navigated the craft through a narrow canyon, dodging enemy fire. With a burst of speed, they soared into the safety of the stars, narrowly escaping the clutches of the Zereth Empire. As they activated their cloaking technology, a sense of triumph washed over them. "We did it," Mira gasped, clutching the data device. "We got the intel." Voss nodded, though his expression was grave. "This is just the beginning. The Empress will retaliate, and we need to prepare for what's coming." Back on Earth, the tension escalated as Admiral Carter awaited their report. He knew the fight for survival had only just begun, and the shadow of war loomed larger than ever. The stars shimmered with an unsettling calm as the Vanguard Armada approached the Yadra system. Admiral Carter stood on the bridge of the **U.S. Horizon **, his expression tense as he scrutinized the data relayed by Elias Voss's team. The information they had retrieved offered a glimpse into the Zereth Empire's strategy, revealing troop movements and impending attacks on key human colonies. "Admiral," Commander Torres reported, "the Zereth fleet is amassing in the outer sectors of Yadra. Their primary targets appear to be New Terra and Arcadia Prime." Carter's jaw tightened. "If they attack those colonies, we'll lose precious resources and manpower. We can't let that happen." "We need to intercept them before they can strike," Torres suggested. "If we launch a preemptive strike, we might catch them off guard." Carter considered this for a moment. "Let's move the Armada into position. We can deploy a small contingent to New Terra to bolster defenses while the main fleet prepares for engagement." With the decision made, the ships began to reposition, each one humming with energy and purpose. As the **U.S. Horizon ** moved closer to the Yadra system, the crew buzzed with nervous anticipation, understanding the enormity of the task ahead. Meanwhile, on the Zereth homeworld, Empress Leora was seething with rage. The news of the humans' daring infiltration and their acquisition of vital intelligence had struck a nerve. In her war chamber, she paced like a predator, her crimson robes flowing behind her like liquid fire. "Those insolent humans dare to challenge me," she bellowed to her generals, who stood at attention, fear etched on their faces. "They will pay dearly for this affront. Increase our offensive. We will crush their colonies and make an example of them." A tall general stepped forward, his voice steady despite the fury in the Empress's eyes. "Your Majesty, if we send all our forces against New Terra, we risk exposing our homeworld. The humans have proven resourceful. They might strike us in our moment of weakness." Leora's eyes blazed. "You speak of weakness. We will show them what true strength is. Divide our fleet. A portion will attack New Terra, and the rest will prepare to defend our territory. I want them scrambling, confused, and terrified." With the plans laid, Leora turned her attention to a holographic display of the Yadra system, plotting her next moves with fierce precision. Back on the **U.S. Horizon **, Admiral Carter and his crew worked tirelessly, devising strategies to outmaneuver the Zereth forces. The atmosphere on the bridge was electric, each member acutely aware of the gravity of their mission. "Admiral, we've established a line of communication with New Terra's command," Torres reported. "They're preparing for defense, but they need support. Let's send in our fighters," Carter decided. "They can bolster their defenses while we prepare our main assault." As the fighters launched, excitement surged through the crew. Carter's tactical decisions had always inspired confidence, and they believed in his leadership. But with the Zereth fleet now mobilized, the stakes were higher than ever. Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared, and a red alert washed over the bridge. "Admiral, incoming Zereth ships detected," an ensign shouted, urgency in his voice. On screen, Carter commanded, and a vast armada materialized before them. A swirling mass of Zereth warships, their intimidating silhouettes etched against the backdrop of stars. "Deploy defensive maneuvers," Carter ordered. "Prepare to engage." The **U.S. Horizon ** surged forward, followed by its fleet, ready to face the oncoming storm. The two sides clashed in a tumultuous ballet of destruction, laser fire illuminating the void of space as the Zereth forces bore down on them. In the midst of the chaos, Voss and his team were aboard the Sable Phantom ***, a stealth ship that had evaded detection as they slipped into the fray. "We've got to get closer to the Zareth command ship," Voss directed. "If we can disable their communications, we might turn the tide of this battle." "Watch out. Zareth ships are on our tail," Tessa shouted, her heart racing as she scanned the controls. Voss gritted his teeth, expertly maneuvering through the barrage of fire. "Hang on. We'll lose them in the debris field." As they weaved through the chaos, the sight of their comrades fighting valiantly pushed them forward. It was a desperate struggle, but humanity was determined to protect its home. "Now," Voss yelled as they neared the Zareth command ship. "Prepare to board." With a swift motion, he activated the ship's boarding pod, launching it toward the massive Zareth vessel. As the pod latched onto the hull, the team prepared to breach the interior, their hearts pounding with the thrill of impending action. "Let's show them what humanity is capable of," Voss exclaimed, and they burst into the heart of the enemy ship, ready to face whatever awaited them in the depths of the Zareth Empire. The tides of war had turned, and as both sides fought with everything they had, the galaxy watched, holding its breath, knowing that the outcome would shape the fate of civilizations. As the boarding pod slammed against the hull of the Zareth command ship, the deafening sound of metal against metal echoed through the cramped space. Voss led the charge, his heart racing with adrenaline as he forced the hatch open, revealing a dimly lit corridor teeming with Zareth soldiers. "Stay sharp," he called out as they burst into the ship's interior. The team moved swiftly, taking cover behind structural supports as blaster fire ricocheted off the walls. Tessa pulled her weapon and returned fire, her aim steady despite the chaos. "Move. We need to get to their command center," Voss shouted, leading the charge down the corridor. As they advanced, they encountered small groups of Zareth troops, each skirmish escalating into a chaotic blur of blaster fire and hand-to-hand combat. Mira hacked into the ship's systems from a portable console, eyes flicking between screens as she dodged incoming fire. "I'm working on disabling their communication systems, but I need more time," she yelled over the noise. "We don't have time," Samir replied, dispatching another Zareth soldier with a swift strike. "We need to move." Voss took a breath, his mind racing. "We'll split up. Mira, stay with Tessa and cover her while she finishes the hack. Samir and I will draw their attention." "Got it." Mira nodded, determination etched on her face. As Voss and Samir dashed down the corridor, the sounds of battle swirled around them. Zareth soldiers were beginning to regroup, and their numbers were swelling. Voss felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. They couldn't fail. Not now, not when humanity's survival hinged on their success. They rounded a corner and burst into a large chamber, the command center of the Zareth ship. Console screens lined the walls, glowing with information, and at the center stood a Zareth officer barking orders to a group of soldiers. "Cover me," Voss shouted as he charged forward, firing his weapon at the startled Zareth troops. Samir provided covering fire, taking down the nearest threats with precision. Voss reached the officer, tackling him to the ground. They struggled, the officer's elongated limbs thrashing as Voss fought to gain the upper hand. With a swift motion, he drew his knife, pressing it against the officer's throat. "You're going to tell me everything I want to know," he hissed, his voice low and fierce. Meanwhile, Tessa and Mira moved cautiously through the corridor, adrenaline coursing through their veins. "I'm almost there," Mira exclaimed, fingers flying over the console. "Just a few more seconds." Suddenly, the door behind them exploded open, and a group of Zareth soldiers poured into the room. "Get down," Tessa yelled, pulling Mira behind cover as blaster fire erupted around them. "Focus, Mira. We need that intel." Mira gritted her teeth, her eyes darting between her screen and the incoming threats. "I'm trying. I just need." "Don't stop," Tessa urged, returning fire with pinpoint accuracy. Each shot took down another soldier, but the Zereth numbers were overwhelming. Back in the command center, Voss was losing the upper hand against the officer. "You'll pay for this, human," the Zereth snarled, pushing back with surprising strength. "Enough," Voss roared, slamming the officer's head against the floor, disorienting him. He seized the moment to bind the officer's arms, securing him. "Now tell me how to disable your communication systems, and you might just live to see another day." The Zereth officer glared defiantly, but Voss could see the fear creeping into his eyes. "Fine. The main control panel is in the lower deck, but you'll never reach it in time." He spat, panting heavily. "Try me," Voss shot back, shoving the officer aside and making his way toward the command console. He began to input commands, using the Zereth's own technology against them. "Samir, we need to hurry," he shouted. "Get ready to extract." With blasters firing around them, the battle waged on in the command center. Samir was fending off waves of soldiers, adrenaline surging through him. "I'm on it," he replied, moving to flank the remaining enemies. Finally, Voss completed the disabling sequence, a triumphant grin breaking through the chaos. "Got it. Communication is down." The Zereth soldiers faltered, confusion spreading through their ranks as they struggled to regroup without command. "Now let's get back to the pod," Voss ordered. As they fought their way back, Tessa and Mira covered them, using the disarray to their advantage. They dashed through the corridors, the sounds of blaster fire echoing behind them, but hope surged within them. With their escape route in sight, the team pushed through the final stretch, the boarding pod glowing invitingly ahead. Just as they reached it, a massive explosion rocked the Zereth ship, and the walls trembled. "Move! Move! Move!" Voss yelled, urgency driving them forward. They leaped into the pod, the hatch ceiling shut behind them, just as another explosion tore through the ship, sending debris flying. "Hang on," Voss shouted, slamming the controls as the pod launched away from the command ship, narrowly avoiding the chaos. They emerged into open space, the Zereth ship behind them engulfed in flames, and a wave of relief washed over him. "We did it," Mira exclaimed, clutching the data device. But Voss knew the fight was far from over. They had dealt a significant blow to the Zereth, but the Empress would not rest until she had her revenge. The storm was gathering, and humanity was about to face the wrath of the alien empire like never before. The ***, Sable Phantom ***, glided through the dark void of space, its hull trembling from the remnants of the explosive escape. Inside, the atmosphere was tense, filled with a mixture of triumph and trepidation. Voss took a deep breath, finally allowing himself a moment of relief as the chaos of the Zereth command ship faded behind them. "Status report," he commanded, turning to Mira, who was feverishly analyzing the data they had retrieved. Mira looked up, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the console. "We've got critical intel on Zereth fleet movements, and I've downloaded their command protocols. This could change everything." Her eyes sparkled with excitement, but the gravity of their situation hung heavily in the air. "Good. We need to get this back to Admiral Carter. He has to know what we're up against," Voss replied, a sense of urgency fueling his words. As they navigated back toward the ***US horizon ***, Tessa glanced out the viewport, watching the stars drift by. "We may have disabled their communications, but they'll retaliate. The Empress won't let this go unpunished." Samir, still catching his breath, nodded. "We need to warn the colonies. If they strike while we're still reeling from this battle, they could catch us off guard." "Agreed," Voss said, his mind racing with possibilities. "Once we reach the fleet, we'll need to establish defensive protocols immediately. We can't afford to lose any more ground." When the ***, Sable Phantom ***, finally docked with the ***, US horizon ***, the team disembarked with the weight of their mission still heavy on their shoulders. They were met by Admiral Carter, who had been anxiously awaiting their return. "Voss, Tessa, Summer, good to see you all back in one piece. What's the status?" Carter's voice was steady, but Voss could see the flicker of concern in his eyes. "We have intel on the Zereth fleet movements and their command structure," Voss replied, handing over the data device. "But we need to prepare for an imminent counterattack. They're furious and will strike hard." Carter quickly began to review the data, his expression shifting from concern to determination. "We need to act swiftly. This data gives us a chance to anticipate their movements. It's crucial we get this information out to our allies." The bridge crew gathered around, their faces etched with the intensity of the moment. "We've already received word that New Terra is preparing for potential assault. Our forces there are mobilizing," Torres reported. "But we need to coordinate a united front. We can't afford to be divided." "Right," Carter said, his voice taking on a commanding tone. "Let's rally the fleet. I want every ship prepared for battle. We need to reinforce New Terra and Arcadia Prime immediately. They're the backbone of our defenses." As the crew dispersed to execute their orders, Voss felt a surge of pride in their unity. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds before, and now they were banding together once more. Back on the Zereth homeworld, Empress Leora seethed in her war chamber, the walls pulsing with the dark energy of her frustration. "Those humans have underestimated my resolve," she hissed, her sharp features twisted in rage. "They think they can challenge the Zereth Empire without consequences." Her general stood stiffly, fearing to voice any disagreement. "Your Majesty," one finally ventured, "our forces are stretched thin. Perhaps we should regroup and reconsider our strategy." "Regroup?" Leora's voice dripped with scorn. "We will not retreat. We will launch a full-scale assault on New Terra and Arcadia Prime. Show them what it means to provoke the might of the Zereth." The generals exchanged uneasy glances. They could sense the volatility in her emotions, but they also understood that Leora's fury could be their undoing. "Prepare the fleet," she ordered, her eyes blazing. "We will crush their defenses and ensure their colonies burn. They will pay for their insolence." Back aboard the *** U.S. Horizon ***. Voss and his team were debriefing with Carter, who was making plans for their next steps. "We have to maximize our defensive capabilities," Carter explained. "If we can fortify our positions and prepare for their attack, we stand a chance. We should consider deploying the fighters and battleships to strategic points around New Terra," Tessa suggested, her analytical mind already mapping out potential strategies. "That's a solid idea," Carter nodded. "We'll set up a perimeter to catch any Zereth ships before they reach the planet. Communication with our allies must remain constant. We can't afford any missteps." As the ship buzzed with preparations, Voss felt a sense of determination settle over him. They were ready to face whatever the Zereth Empire could throw at them. "Admiral," he said, stepping forward, "if we're going to go on the offensive, we need to infiltrate the Zereth supply lines. If we can disrupt their resources, we can weaken them before the main attack." Carter considered this, nodding slowly. "You may be right. Disrupting their supply could give us a vital advantage. But we'll need a team to undertake that mission." "I volunteer," Voss replied immediately, feeling the fire of purpose igniting within him. "We can take the *** Sable Phantom ***, and move in under stealth. We'll hit them where it hurts." "Very well," Carter said, his voice resolute. "You'll have my support. Assemble your team, and we'll make the necessary arrangements. We have to hit them hard and fast. The fate of humanity rests on this." As Voss gathered his team, he felt the weight of their impending mission pressing on him, but he also felt an overwhelming sense of unity. Together, they would face the coming storm. Together, they would ensure that humanity would not just survive, but thrive against the Zereth Empire's relentless fury. The battle for their future was about to begin. As the *** Sable Phantom *** prepared for its next mission, the crew buzzed with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. Voss stood at the helm, studying the schematics of the Zareth supply routes displayed on the main screen. Each route was a potential target, a critical vein feeding the Empire's war machine. They needed to strike hard, but stealth would be their greatest ally. Everyone knows their roles, Voss asked, casting a glance at Tessa, Samir, and Mira. The three of them nodded, their expressions serious. I'll handle navigation and communications, Mira said, her fingers dancing over her console. If we run into trouble, I'll need to know exactly where we are and how to get out quickly. Tessa adjusted her tactical gear, her eyes focused. I'll lead the ground team. Once we breach their supply depot, we'll need to disable their systems and make a clean getaway. Samir, ever the technician, chimed in. I'll be monitoring the systems from our ship. I can disrupt their alarms and lockdown protocols, giving you a window to get in and out. Good, Voss replied, feeling a surge of confidence in his team. Let's move out. The *** Sable Phantom *** slipped out of the *** U.S. Horizon *** like a shadow, its cloaking technology enveloping it in darkness as it darted towards the nearest Zareth supply depot, located on a desolate moon orbiting a gas giant. The journey was tense, the crew silent as they moved deeper into enemy territory. As they approached the moon, Voss activated the ship's sensors. Mira, give near read on their defenses. Not much, she replied, her eyes narrowing at the data. A couple of automated turrets, but they look old and poorly maintained. We should be able to bypass them without too much trouble. Perfect, Voss said, already plotting their entry point. Tessa, prepare the drop pod. We'll go in quietly and take out the turrets first. I want the element of surprise on our side. Once they reached the surface, the team executed their plan flawlessly. Tessa led them through the moon's rocky terrain, moving with practiced ease. They arrived at the supply depot, a sprawling complex of metallic structures humming with activity. Okay, here's the plan, Tessa whispered, crouched behind a crate. We'll split into two teams. Samir and I will disable the turrets while Voss and Mira create a distraction. Once the turrets are down, we'll breach the main supply room and download any data we can find. Understood, Voss replied, his heart pounding with anticipation. He turned to Mira. Ready? Ready as I'll ever be, she responded, a steely determination in her gaze. The team split up, and Voss and Mira moved toward the edge of the complex. Using a combination of stealth and agility, they approached a control panel that oversaw the depot's perimeter. With Mira hacking into the system, they could monitor the status of the turrets and other security measures. Almost there. Just a few more seconds, Mira murmured, her fingers flying across the screen. Suddenly, alarms blared. What did you do? Voss hissed, his heart racing. I triggered a system check, she said quickly, focusing on her screen. It'll reset soon, but we need to be quick. Meanwhile, Tessa and Samir were successfully taking down the turrets with silent precision, using EMP grenades to disable them before they could raise any alarms. That's two down, Tessa. Let's move to the supply room, Samir whispered, glancing around for any signs of patrols. As Voss and Mira rushed to catch up with Tessa and Samir, Voss felt the adrenaline surging through him. The stakes had never been higher, and they needed to move quickly. Reaching the supply room, Tessa stood ready, her weapon raised. This is it. On my mark, she said, her eyes scanning the area for guards. Go, Voss urged, pushing the door open. Inside, they found crates stacked high, filled with supplies, ammunition, energy cells, and even some experimental tech the Zareth were working on. We hit the jackpot, Samir exclaimed, his eyes widening at the sight. Let's get what we can carry and download the data, Tessa instructed, moving toward a terminal in the corner. She plugged in a data drive, ready to extract critical information. But before they could begin downloading, the sound of footsteps echoed in the hallway outside. We've got company, Mira whispered urgently. Everyone, hide. Voss commanded, his heart racing as they quickly concealed themselves behind the crates. The door swung open, and a group of Zereth soldiers entered, their voices filled with anger and confusion. "Who triggered the alarms?" one of the soldiers growled, scanning the room. Tessa held her breath, her grip tightening on her weapon. The room was silent except for the soldiers' increasingly agitated conversation. "We can't let them find us," Voss thought, the tension palpable as he watched the Zereth soldiers move closer. If they were discovered now, everything would be lost. They needed to act, and quickly. As the Sable Phantom raced through the vastness of space, Voss and his team took a moment to catch their breath. The interior of the ship was dimly lit, screens flickering with data streams from the successful heist they had just pulled off. Mira was at the helm, her fingers dancing over the control panel as she verified the information they had stolen from the Zereth supply depot. "Impressive work back there," Tessa said, wiping sweat from her brow. "I didn't think we'd make it out." "Neither did I," Voss admitted, leaning back in his seat. "But we did. Now we have the upper hand. This data will expose their weaknesses, and we can hit them where it hurts." Mira, her eyes still glued to the monitors, added, "The Zereth have been stockpiling resources for their next offensive. If we can sabotage their supply lines, we might delay their invasion plans." "Let's not celebrate too soon," Senor interjected, his voice tense. "The Empress won't take this lightly. She'll retaliate with everything she has." Just then, the ship's alarm blared, red lights flashing ominously. Voss sprang to his feet, heart racing. "What's happening?" "Multiple Zereth ships detected on an intercept course," Mira reported, her voice steady despite the panic brewing in the room. "They've picked up our signature and are closing in fast." "Shit! Engage evasive maneuvers," Voss shouted, feeling the adrenaline surge as he took the co-pilot seat beside Mira. "Hold on," she warned, her hands gripping the controls as she veered the ship into a sharp turn. The Sable Phantom jolted violently, the inertia pressing them back into their seats. Tessa and Samir secured themselves in their harnesses, bracing for the impact. "Can you cloak us again?" Tessa yelled over the noise. "I'm trying, but it's not fully charged from the last use," Mira replied, her brow furrowing in concentration. "I'll have to divert power from the shields." "Do it. We need to buy some time," Voss urged, his eyes darting to the scanner as Zereth ships filled the screen, their metallic hulls gleaming ominously. Mira quickly rerouted the power, and the ship's systems hummed with urgency. The exterior shimmered, flickering in and out of visibility as the Zereth vessels closed in. "3 Zereth cruisers and 2 frigates on our tail," Samir reported, his voice laced with anxiety. "We can't outrun them forever." Voss clenched his fists, strategizing their next move. "We need to create a distraction, something to divert their attention." "Can we use the cargo we stole?" Mira's eyes lit up with an idea. "If we can reconfigure the explosives we pilfered, we can create a decoy. Detonate it a few clicks away from our current location, and it should draw their fire." "Let's do it," Voss said decisively. "Mira, get to work on that. Samir, prepare the cargo for detonation. Tessa, keep an eye on the scanners and give us a heads up when they're within range." The team moved quickly, the ship rattling under the pressure of their impending doom. Mira worked rapidly, her fingers flying over the console as she accessed the stored explosives. Samir assisted, his face focused, adjusting the wiring with precision. "Ready," Mira shouted after a few tense moments, her voice filled with urgency. "I set the coordinates. We'll detonate the cargo in 3, 2, 1. The ship shuddered as the explosives surged with energy. Voss hit the thrusters, propelling the Sable Phantom away from the blast radius. "Detonation in 3, 2, 1. Samir counted down. A brilliant explosion erupted in the distance, lighting up the darkness of space. The Zereth ships swerved, their focus shifting toward the glowing debris. "Now's our chance." Tessa yelled, adrenaline surging through her. "Let's move." Mira redirected power back to the shields, the ship's visibility flickering as they accelerated away from the blast. Voss could feel the tension in the air. They were not out of danger yet. "Keep an eye on the scanners," he barked, sweat dripping down his forehead. "We need to know if they're following us." The Zereth ships scrambled, momentarily disoriented by the explosion. As they plotted their course, Voss seized the opportunity to slip into an asteroid belt nearby, the rocky formations offering cover amidst the chaos. "Engaging stealth mode," Mira said, her voice steady now that they had some distance. The *** Sable Phantom ** slipped into the shadows of the asteroids, blending seamlessly with the debris. As they took a moment to breathe, Voss couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom. The Zereth Empress would be enraged, and they had only bought themselves a little time. "Prepare for anything," he warned the team, his voice low and serious. "This is just the beginning. We've made a powerful enemy, and now we have to prepare for the storm that's coming." The crew nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. The fight was far from over. It had only just begun. The tension inside the ** Sable Phantom ** was palpable as Voss and his team strategized their next move. They had narrowly escaped the Zereth fleet, but the exhilaration of survival was quickly overshadowed by the knowledge that the Empress would be hunting them relentlessly. "Let's go over what we have," Voss said, his voice calm but firm. "We need a solid plan to not only defend ourselves, but also turn the tide in our favor." Mira turned her attention from the navigation screen to a holographic display projected in the center of the room. It showed the stolen data they had acquired, schematics of Zereth ships, supply routes, and locations of key installations. "We can use this to our advantage," she said, her eyes brightening. "If we can disrupt their supply lines effectively, we'll weaken them significantly." Tessa leaned in closer, studying the data. "This supply depot here," she pointed to a blinking dot on the map, "is crucial for their fleet operations. If we hit it hard, we could potentially cripple their ability to wage war." "Agreed," Voss replied. "But we need to be smart about it. The Empress will have heightened security in response to our last strike. We can't just charge in blindly." Samir, still reviewing the data, spoke up. "What if we deploy a feint? We can create a diversion at one of their lesser outposts while hitting the supply depot at the same time. They'll split their forces trying to defend against both." "That could work," Voss mused, feeling the adrenaline coursing through him. "But we'll need some additional firepower to ensure success. I suggest we seek out allies in the sector, pirates, mercenaries, anyone who can lend us support." "Dangerous proposition," Mira cautioned, raising an eyebrow. "You know how untrustworthy those types can be." "I know," Voss replied, determination in his voice. "But if we want to survive, we need numbers. We have to risk it." With their plan set, the team began preparations for the rendezvous. They plotted a course to the nearest pirate haven, a murky den of scoundrels and opportunists that could provide the firepower they needed. As they neared the location, Voss took a deep breath, steeling himself for what lay ahead. The haven was located in a dark sector of space, the remnants of an ancient asteroid field providing the perfect cover for a fleet of ragtag ships. The ** Sable Phantom * glided through the debris, eventually coming to a stop near a massive, dilapidated space station. Its hull was battered and covered in graffiti, a testament to its chaotic inhabitants. "Looks welcoming," Tessa remarked dryly, her eyes scanning the area for any signs of trouble. "Let's hope they're in the mood for business," Voss said, keeping his tone light despite the heaviness in the air. As they docked, a group of rough-looking individuals gathered on the platform, eyeing the newcomers with suspicion. Voss stepped out first, his posture confident yet open, hoping to project an air of authority. "We come in peace," he called out, raising his hands. "We need allies for a mission against the Zereth. We have intel that could benefit all of us. One of the figures, a burly man with a scar running down his cheek, stepped forward. What's in it for us? We can offer you a share of the spoils, Voss replied, keeping his voice steady. We're planning to hit a major supply depot. There's enough profit to go around, but we need firepower and crews to make it happen. The burly man regarded him with skepticism before looking over his crew. You think you can just waltz in here and dictate terms? Voss held his ground. We have information about the Zereth that could change the game. If you're willing to join us, we'll ensure you're compensated. If not, we'll be on our way, and you'll lose out on the opportunity. A tense silence filled the air as the pirates exchanged glances. Finally, the scared man chuckled, a grin spreading across his face. You've got guts, I'll give you that. All right, we're in, but we want a hefty cut and a front row seat for the action. Voss nodded, relief washing over him. Deal. Meet us at the coordinates in 3 hours. We'll finalize our plans then. As they prepared to leave, Voss felt a surge of hope. They were assembling a motley crew, but it was a start. The fight against the Zereth Empress was far from over, but now they had allies, and a chance to strike back. Back aboard the Sable Phantom the team gathered once more, their spirits lifted by the prospect of reinforcements. We're one step closer, Voss said, determination etched on his face. Let's gear up and get ready. The Empress won't see us coming. As they made their preparations, the crew couldn't shake the feeling that a storm was brewing. The Zereth were powerful, but humanity had a knack for resilience, and together they would show the galaxy the true meaning of defiance. With the stolen intel in hand and new allies at their backs, Voss steeled himself for the upcoming confrontation, knowing full well that the tides of war were shifting. The Sable Phantom would be at the forefront, leading the charge against an enemy who had underestimated humanity for far too long.